No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown. I hope everyone is having a happy and safe Friday as we head into the weekend. Shout out to D. Martin Fifth, who sent in a $5 super chat. I might end up breaking D. Martin Fifth's heart tonight because his comment was, good Smackdown tonight. Just getting ready to watch Io Sky's return match in and return to Japan on Wrestle Universe in about an hour. Have a great night. Thank you for that, D. Martin Fifth. I appreciate that. I will not be checking out Io Sky's match, but I hope for those of you checking it out, you do in fact enjoy it. Now, let's talk about SmackDown. We kicked off with footage from Money in the Bank. This was the post Money in the Bank show, and now we are on the road to SummerSlam. We had Tiffany Stratton come into the ring for her victory promo. She is the youngest women's Money in the Bank holder. She said that Trish Stratus was at Money in the Bank, but she is the real star of the show. She said it's her time, and the title reigns of the champions are also on her time. As you might expect, Bayley interrupted the women's champion for SmackDown. Brought up how when she won Money in the Bank in 2019, Tiffany Stratton didn't even know what WWE was. Tiffany admitted, yes, she's a newcomer, but in 3 years, she has already become the youngest Money in the Bank holder, while Bayley was watching at home eating potato chips with no friends. Bayley then responded by saying maybe Tiffany will make history in a way she doesn't want to make history by being the first person to fail to successfully cash in the women's Money in the Bank. Then we had Nia Jax interrupt. Nia Jax talked about winning the match at SummerSlam against Bayley, and Bayley said that Nia will be going up against a different version of her from the past. No longer the hugger Bayley that Nia will be facing. And then Bayley said if by some chance Nia picked up the win at SummerSlam, then maybe Tiffany Stratton could cash in on Nia Jax. A fight broke out with everyone. Bayley was outnumbered, but then Michin made the save with a kendo stick, and that set us up for our first match. Michin versus Nia Jax. On paper, you know who's winning. Michin did have a strong start. Nia quickly, though, took control of the match, gave her a stink face, tossed her around like a rag doll, and gave her a splash in the corner. After the commercial break, Michin started to make a comeback, but then Tiffany Stratton, who was at ringside, distracted the referee. Michin, though, was able to keep her momentum going. She hit a tornado DDT, but Nia kicked out. Then Nia regained the upper hand, hit the Samoan drop, and then picked up the win with the Annihilator. After the match was over, Nia went for another Annihilator, but Bayley got in the ring, stopped Nia Jax from doing that. And then we had Tiffany come in with the briefcase as a weapon to Bayley. 2-on-1 beatdown, and then Tiffany Stratton was about to cash in, and that's when Nia Jax confronted her. I'm wondering why Nia just didn't let it happen. Does it really matter? Hey, I would let it happen because then Nia Jax is still getting her title match, and on top of that, she doesn't have to worry about Money in the Bank anymore. I would just let Tiffany cash it in right there, and then you get your title match with Tiffany at SummerSlam. I'm not sure how I felt about all this. To me, this whole beginning of SmackDown, it felt like an AI script. Tiffany comes out, I'm the new Money in the Bank holder, I'm going to win. Bayley comes out, no, I'm going to win. Nia comes out, no, I'm going to win. Then they do the little tease. It just felt very standard. The crowd loves Tiffany, though. I just hope they can come up with some more creativity with these storylines. Just felt a bit flat for me. Now, backstage, Chelsea Green was wearing a neck brace and she wanted to see Adam Pearce, but there was a line to see him. More on that in a few moments. Then we had a Bloodline vignette. Solo Sikoa talked about how they all had the titles at one point, and now it's up to Solo to build a new and more powerful family. And he issued a warning for later on. Stay tuned. We had a tag team match. Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews versus Angel and Berto. Angel Garza and Humberto. Crews went right after them. Good guys had the early momentum. And then a cool moment, Crews launched Corbin over the top rope onto Legado del Fantasma on the outside. But of course, bad guys get the upper hand. Baron Corbin charged, missed, hit the steel steps. And then eventually Crews got a hot tag, delivered some rolling German suplexes to Garza, and then came off the top with a crossbody, went for the cover, but Berto broke it up. Corbin came back in, and then Santos Escobar was on the outside. He got knocked out by Corbin. Then Corbin took out Berto, sent him over the barricade. But then back in the ring, Elektra Lopez got on the apron, and Corbin didn't get a good enough shot in because Santos recovered. He went after Crews, attacked him while the referee was distracted by Elektra, and Garza pinned Crews with the wing clipper. Hey, Garza and Berto, they got their new contract apparently, and they pick up a win. Match was okay, nothing special. We had a sit-down interview with Andrade in an empty arena from before the show. The question was asked, what's next for Andrade? And he talked about how WWE is still his destiny, but then Carmelo Hayes interrupted and said that Andrade screwed him at Money in the Bank. Carmelo brought up how he's a first draft pick. He beat Randy Orton, blah, blah, blah. And then Andrade responded by saying he knows what's next, and that's Carmelo. And they did confirm that next week it will be Andrade versus Carmelo. So backstage, Pretty Deadly wanted to see Nick Aldis, and as I mentioned, there was a line to see him. But as it turns out, LA Knight came out of Nick Aldis's locker room with a contract. More on that in just a moment. We had Randy Orton backstage giving Cody Rhodes a pep talk, saying he has Cody's back. And he said once the Bloodline business is over, Cody is still going to have a locker room of men coming after the title. And Randy Orton vowed to continue to have Cody's back even then. We'll see how long that goes. We had LA Knight, coming to the ring. And he had his contract. He said there were no excuses for his Money in the Bank loss, but he's got something else he can try to achieve at this point. He showed the footage of when he pinned Logan Paul to qualify for Money in the Bank, and he ended up going to Nick Aldis, and he got a contract for SummerSlam, United States title match with Logan Paul. LA Knight signed it, and he wanted Logan to sign it, but Logan wasn't there. So LA Knight said he will get the contract signed by Logan Paul one way or another. Here's an interesting comment from Michael. He sent in a $2 super chat, says, does one half a contract signing lose one half a letter grade? This, at least, they have a good reason to do a contract, and it's not just, okay, we announced a match, and now we're going to do a contract signing. A match hasn't been official yet. LA Knight needs Logan to agree to it. So this at least makes a little bit more logical sense, and the promo was good. So I'm not going to deduct any points for this segment. I thought it was fine. And, next week they'll have Logan sign, whatever. To me, it's better than the usual contract signing segment that they do. We had Blair Davenport having a match with Naomi, and there was a Blair Davenport vignette. Match was okay. Basic SmackDown match. Blair Davenport was targeting the arm, came off the top with a double stomp, and she sent Naomi's shoulder first into the ring post. And then after the commercial break, Naomi had her comeback, but then Blair was able to avoid the split-legged moonsault. They traded near falls back and forth, but eventually it was Naomi that picked up the clean win over Blair Davenport. So Blair will have to live to fight another day, I suppose. Backstage, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair celebrated with Naomi, and Jade and Bianca were wanting to maybe get a tag team title match, but as it turns out, Nick Aldis was not there. And Chelsea Green heard about this, so she stormed into Nick Aldis's locker room, and he was, in fact, not there. Which begs the question, he was in there for the segment with LA Knight to give LA Knight the contract. Is there like a back window and he jumped out the back window? Like, wouldn't he have to go through the front door? I don't know. I don't know if they thought this through too well. But yeah, Nick Aldis somehow disappeared from his locker room. And I don't think that's part of a storyline. I just don't think they thought out the segment too well. So then we had, speaking of not really thinking things too well, Jade and Bianca walk away. And immediately when they leave, we have Blair Davenport come in, says that Naomi deserves credit, better luck next time, offered a handshake. Naomi agreed. And then sure enough, Blair Davenport jumped Naomi from behind. I guess Jade and Bianca, they hauled ass out of there. They didn't walk slowly or anything. They just got out of there as fast as they could and didn't even see Blair Davenport there and weren't there to keep an eye on her. Whatever. And it was the usual, as soon as they shake hands, Blair's going to attack her anyways. I thought it was kind of lame personally. Shout out to Jeff Meacham, says, quick hello as we do our latest watch along. Well, shout out to Jeff. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe, my friend. We had DIY. And by the way, when this is over, go check out the Jeff Meacham Network. There's your plug, Jeff. We had DIY versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in a rematch for the tag team titles from last week. Gargano went for a dive and he basically crashed on the floor. And then Waller went for a tornado DDT to Ciampa on the apron, but botched it. Didn't look too good. Then after the commercial break, we had Gargano getting the hot tag. Ciampa came back in, and Theory and Waller were mocking the meet me in the middle move that DIY does. Ciampa moved out of the way, and then Waller went for a knee strike but accidentally hit Theory, so their falling out continues. And then DIY got it together, Shatter Machine, and then they pinned Waller with the meet in the middle. Match was fine, solid match. It continues the split between Waller and Theory. But then all of a sudden, we had Jacob Fatu come in with an attack, beating up both teams, which you're trying to build up Jacob Fatu, but yeah, kind of makes your tag division look weak, in my opinion. Couldn't you have him come out there and destroy Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, for that matter? Like, those guys aren't doing anything. Like, why sacrifice your tag team champions for Jacob Fatu when you could have had Jacob Fatu beat up Apollo Crews? Just saying. But yeah, Fatu is a beast. He came in there and he just destroyed everybody. Looked great doing it. I will say this, the the star of this show was Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu moves like a star. He looks like a star. He just has that presence to him, that intensity that makes him stand out above just about everyone in WWE right now. You know, he's up there with Braun Breaker as far as just pure energy, and he just has that physical presence to him. This guy is going to be a big deal. I'm saying that right now. Jacob Fatu, he's the standout of this new bloodline. Now, after this carnage, we had Solo Sikoa and the rest of the bloodline come into the ring. And basically, Solo said that everyone who has not acknowledged him is gone. Jimmy Uso gone, Paul Heyman gone, and the people don't deserve Roman Reigns. Now they got Solo Sikoa. And Solo said if Reigns does come back, he will acknowledge Solo as the tribal chief. Then he said it's Cody Rhodes' turn to acknowledge him. And sure enough, Cody went out there all by himself with the bloodline. And he said that he considers it official. I guess this means we could get a contract signing with these guys. He said Nick Aldis wasn't there to confirm it. Where the hell did Nick Aldis go anyways? I'm still wondering. That's still bothering me. But yeah, Cody said as far as he's concerned, him, Solo at SummerSlam for the title. But he didn't want to wait. And at that point, he was surrounded by the 4 bloodline members, and he was ready for a fight. They did brawl. Unfortunately for Cody, 4 against 1. There's only so much you can do. But then, man of his word, Randy Orton came out there and cleaned house. But even 2-on-4, the odds are against the good guys. And Jacob Fatu super kicked Randy Orton. Then they double teamed Cody and Randy. Cody was tied up in the ropes, so he would have to watch his mentor, Randy Orton, get beaten to a bloody, well, not a bloody, but beaten to an absolute pulp. They destroyed him, hit him with the steel steps, and then they gave him the Shield power bomb through the table, and Cody was just absolutely distraught at this. And then the bloodline posed over Randy Orton's body as Cody was just there, trapped in the ropes. No Kevin Owens, KO, attending to his mother. Best wishes to him. And the show ended with the bloodline standing tall over Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Good angle to close out the show. Definitely, by quite a bit, I thought it was the highlight of the show. Like I said, Jacob Fatu is the star. And as good as this angle was, it's still a matter of we're waiting for Randy Orton, or not Randy Orton. We're waiting for Roman Reigns to return. And even though this match will be a good match, we're just waiting for Randy Orton. I keep saying Randy Orton. Not Randy Orton. Roman Reigns. We're waiting for Roman Reigns to come back and get his hands on Solo. And that's the thing. When we watch this match with Solo and Cody, we're going to be thinking in the back of our minds, where's Roman Reigns? When's he coming back? That's the only issue with this match, in my opinion, is that it's just us thinking, okay, when is Roman coming out there? That makes it hard to really get invested in the match, just knowing it's a setup for Roman coming back. All in all, I thought SmackDown was actually pretty boring this week. I hate to use the B word, but it felt like a skippable show. Maybe the last segment you wouldn't want to miss, but even that was fairly standard. The beatdown was cool, but nothing too much out of the ordinary. And like I said, even though Cody is going up against Solo, I still feel like we're waiting for Roman to get back in the mix. That's the thing with this. Yeah, I'm not sure what the finish is going to be, though. Does Roman Reigns just cost Solo the title, and that sets up Roman versus Solo? I mean, I could see that being a possibility, and I'm sure we'll talk about that over the next couple weeks. All in all, I think SmackDown was okay. I give it a C plus. Unfortunately, I think it was the weakest of the three shows between Dynamite and Raw. It's kind of in a lame duck period. It's a combination of two things. One, no Roman Reigns. Once Roman's back, business will definitely pick up. And number two, the Fox transition to USA Network. I think once we get the move to USA, SmackDown will start being more eventful. It felt like a throwaway show for the most part. So that's why I give it a C plus, slightly above average due to the Bloodline stuff. Take out the Bloodline stuff, run of the mill, skippable show. So that's all I got for tonight, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. We will be back with the No DQ review on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the No DQ YouTube channel. Tune in for that. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/merch, and I will see you all next time.